Hey guys, what's up? Tyler here on the Dragon Rider Network, and today in this video I'm going to be talking about Android and my switch from iOS to Android. So if you didn't know, I had the iPhone 4 for the past 2 years, and this summer my contract ended and I was kind of looking for something new. I had my fill with iOS and I was looking on to some other kind of phone software. And so I picked Android and the Galaxy S3, and I've been really happy with it, but that's not to say it hasn't come with its own learning curve. But before I get too far into that, I just want to see if you guys are actually interested in Android videos here on this channel and whether you'd like to see more of them. I know Connor doesn't cover a lot of Android stuff, but if you guys like to see more Android content, go ahead and comment on this video and let us know what you'd like to see and we'll make it happen. And so back to switching from iOS to Android. So I'm just going to talk about apps, widgets, and the OS in general, both iOS and Jelly Bean. And so on iOS, you have a lot of app support. All the apps work pretty well. Never had really any issues not finding an app that I'd want, and didn't really have any issues with apps crashing. And when I switched over to Android, didn't really have any issues finding apps as well. I had one or two ones that I couldn't really find in the Play Store. An example would be iTV. That's on iOS devices, but it's not on Android in the Play Store. So I actually found a replacement, which I actually think I might like a little better, called TV Listings, but that's available only for Android and not for iOS. And so both softwares have apps for each one. It's kind of give and take in some circumstances, but I haven't been able to really find any apps that I've been missing or that I'm really dying without. I can find all apps that I really need, and app support really isn't a main issue. I know it used to be on Android, but now most apps are supported and you have no trouble finding them. Apps do run a little bit more stable on iOS than they do Android. I have had apps crash on me, but I also am running CyanogenMod 10, which is a custom ROM with Jelly Bean, so that might have something to do with it. But they don't really crash that often, if they do at all. And I know on iOS they do crash a little bit, but overall I'd say apps are a little bit more stable on iOS than Android. Now widgets are something that I thought I'd use a lot more than I actually do right now. I only have a couple widgets on my home screens. I have a calendar widget and I have a to-do list widget. I don't really use a Facebook widget or Twitter widget. I usually just go to the apps if I want to get that information. And so widgets aren't something I use as much as I thought I would. And I can kind of see why Apple doesn't put them in iOS, because they're not entirely needed. They just kind of take up RAM and they take up home screen space, and sometimes they can make your device really laggy. And that's what Android suffered with in its earlier stages and softwares. But in Jelly Bean with Project Butter, widgets, at least on my Galaxy S3 and Nexus 7, run very fine. They run smooth. There's no issues with them at all. And so I think they're very well done on Jelly Bean. And widgets are something nice, but they're not a necessity. And so I don't really blame Apple for not putting them in. But it'd be nice if the option was there sometimes. But overall, widgets, they're a thumbs up on Jelly Bean. On Ice Cream Sandwich, they were a little bit laggy. In older versions of Android, they were just a lag fest. It was just terrible. But overall, I do enjoy them, and I think they're a nice part of Jelly Bean software. So now I'm going to talk about the OSs in general. I'm just going to start with iOS, because that's what I kind of started with. It was my first smartphone, and I was extremely happy with it. I thought it was great, and it was awesome, and it really was. And there was really nothing wrong with iOS. It just worked fine. It was smooth. There was hardly any lag. And the only lag I really ever experienced on iOS is going to Spotlight search. And I actually watched a couple videos of iPhone 5 unboxings, and even when the iPhone 5 goes to Spotlight, it still lags just a little bit. And so I don't know why Apple can't seem to fix that, but it's just really the only lag issue I've ever seen on an iPhone. But overall, iOS, it's a more closed software, but things tend to run better, apps run better, the whole ecosystem runs better, and it's universal because all iPhones are the same iPhone, just different capacity variants. And so iOS in general, smooth, easy to use, very simple. The UI is nice. It's a very clean and polished software, but it is closed, and you don't really get as much customization though, and that's kind of why I was leaning toward Android. And so Ice Cream Sandwich, on the other hand, was a lot more customizable, but there was a lot to learn. And settings are a lot different. I had to relearn everything that I knew how to do on iOS. To make the same thing happen on an Android, I had to learn how to do it differently. And so there was a little bit of a learning curve, and it wasn't too bad. I did figure it out after a couple days, most of the things on the actual phone. But I did see that Ice Cream Sandwich does lag a little bit with widgets, and just lags a little bit in general. It's just a little bit slower. And it's an okay software. It's pretty good, definitely better than other past Android softwares. But as far as like versus iOS, I guess it'd be like kind of neck and neck. iOS runs a lot smoother in my opinion than Ice Cream Sandwich. But whenever you throw Jelly Bean in the mix, I think Jelly Bean is over both iOS 6 and Ice Cream Sandwich just because it has widgets, it has everything that Android's known for, and it runs basically lag-free. And because Jelly Bean is mostly lag-free, it offers a very nice user experience. Now I have stock Jelly Bean running on both my Galaxy S3 through CyanogenMod 10 and on the Nexus 7. And I will say stock Android is the way to go in my opinion. I don't like any of the manufacturer skins like TouchWiz or HTC Sense or Motor Blur or whatever they call it. I'd rather have the choice not to have those because I do think they might slow your phone down a little bit. But overall, stock Jelly Bean is the way to go in my opinion because it's just a lot smoother. You don't have any of that junk that manufacturers like to put on, and it's a lot smoother. And I think it runs pretty smooth, if it's not as smooth as iOS 6, but I think it's better than iOS 6 for me because you can customize more, you have the widgets, you have all kinds of different things, notifications are a little bit better, and just in general it works better for me. Might not be the case for you, iOS might just work best for you, and that's perfectly fine, and you're entitled to that. I used iOS for 2 years, and I had my fill of it, and I was just ready to move on to something else. There's nothing wrong with it, it's not a bad software. I just decided to move over to Android. And so that was kind of basically my Android experience, moving over to Android from iOS. I definitely had to learn a lot, but I've enjoyed it thus far, and I'm looking forward to future Android updates. And so if you guys like to see more Android videos, like I said before, comment down below and give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Dragon Rider Network and go over and check out my channel, T Game and Tech, for other tech and game related videos. So thank you guys for watching this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.